On April 1st, UGS completed its acquisition of Tecnomatix Technologies Limited, creating the #1 digital manufacturing solutions provider in the PLM market. Integrating Tecnomatix into UGS is a natural but significant step in UGS's digital manufacturing strategy. It represents another strategic milestone for UGS as it continues to expand its suite of software solutions to provide value across a product's entire life cycle, and demonstrates the company's continuing dedication to leadership in the high-growth sector of digital manufacturing. Tecnomatix is now UGS's digital manufacturing brand. Tony Afuso, Chairman, CEO, and President of UGS, recently visited several Tecnomatix customers, such as Tesco Engineering of Auburn Hills, Michigan, to personally welcome them to the UGS family, and to communicate the importance of this milestone for the client and for UGS. Tesco Engineering is an innovative Tier 1 supplier of automotive closure systems and a dedicated user of digital process planning tools from Tecnomatix. Tesco CEO Jim Tennisketter, or JT, provided a recent tour of his facility and joined Tony in a candid conversation about Tesco's use of the tools provided by Tecnomatix and the vital role they play in Tesco's PLM strategy.
Tesco Engineering is a automotive services, automation, engineering, tooling supply company. We are part of a larger Japanese group based in Hiroshima, Japan, called the Hirotech Group. Our primary customers here in the U.S., General Motors is our largest customer. The Bud Company, which is a large Tier 1. We do a lot of DCX work here in the U.S. We are also a key Honda supplier. The automotive sector is an extremely grueling sector to work in. General Motors, as an example, typically wants us to have an 8% cost reduction to them on every product. The presentations that we've done for GM, we actually showed that our design costs have reduced by I think it was 50 to 60% since the late 90s by going into the 3D solids world, the virtual world. And we see that using the UGS products that we can and will continue to give them those 8% cost reductions per year and still maintain the profitability on our side.
Well, JT, you're doing some very impressive things with IT and with our technology, with UGS, and also we just acquired Tecnomatix. We think that the manufacturing area that Tecnomatix is in is a very important area and a growing area. It's a new way of doing business. We've had simulation and planning in our whole product design area before, but now it's moving into manufacturing. We see this area as one of the bigger growth areas in our business because it's helping customers around the world with their business. What value do you see Tecnomatix providing in your industry?
We've got a couple different areas that we see very significant value from our Tecnomatix products. We're able to verify that everything works in the virtual world long before we get anything in steel, so that when we actually build the equipment on the floor, the launching, the commissioning, everything works exactly as we planned it in the engineering phase, and we're able to get a successful launch of a program very quickly nowadays. We've also been a long-term UGS user. It's our primary CAD solution here at Tesco Engineering, and UGS is our preferred vendor. So as we look at the acquisition of Tecnomatix by UGS, we see nothing but good things going forward. We think the fact that Tecnomatix will be more tightly integrated into the Teamcenter product, which we use extensively here at Tesco, is going to give us some significant cost reductions in the future in how we use our virtual world. And it's also going to give us the ability to start to automate more of what we do in the virtual world.
Well, that's great, JT. You know, our investment in Tecnomatix will continue. In fact, you'll probably see it accelerating, and you'll see more products, more quality coming out of us now that it's a part of UGS. It's been a great capability, and we'll continue that tradition of Tecnomatix. Also, we'll integrate it in even further with Teamcenter that you're already using, as well as with our CAD products, NX. So you'll be seeing more and more value for your business out of the new merger with UGS and Tecnomatix. Also, we'll continue to support multiple different CAD environments. We'll be able to interoperate with Tecnomatix as we're an open system provider, as well as Tecnomatix will be able to interface with different PDM data structures as well. So we'll continue on supporting in that same tradition that they always have.
Yeah, actually, from an open environment, that's something that's important to us here at Tesco. We need the ability to manipulate the different CAD environments, and our preferred environment here is NX. So if we can port the data from the one system to the NX, it helps to streamline and reduce our costs here inside Tesco. We extensively use the Tecnomatix simulation products, and we've had a very good recent example where one of the major U.S. OEMs came to us and asked us to create a new flexible manufacturing system. And oh, by the way, they were looking for a 40% cost reduction from the previous line that they purchased from us. Today, all those lines are running production at the required volumes, at the required cycle times. Everything worked as planned in the virtual world, and we save that customer 40% on their upfront costs.
Well, it's a tremendous example of how you're using the technology and how you've revised your process and your people to take advantage of the technology. I mean, the ability to shrink your time to market, the ability to do these simulations in the computer instead of having to build hardware and build and test and try must be a tremendous advantage to you in your cycle.
In the old days, our customers would have required us to build it in steel, set it up in a prototype, a lab area, and actually prove it out. And to do that would have taken months and hundreds of thousands of dollars for us to convince them. In the simulation product by Tecnomatix, we were able to prove it out in a matter of a week at $3,000–4,000 in labor cost. Since then, we've probably have 120, maybe 130 installations of this in the field, and a rough estimate, each installation probably saved the customer roughly $100,000. So right there, we probably saved the customer between $12 and $13 million.
JT, as we work with our customers across the world, many times what they say, it's just not technology. And we know that. It's more than technology. It's technology, it's process, and probably even more importantly, it's people. Those three things that really have to come together to make the whole system work. How's your view of people, and how have people changed with the tools that you're using today?
What we find is that our employees who are working on our Tecnomatix simulation products, on our Tecnomatix planning products, are very excited to be working on state-of-the-art technology. They see their value raised in the organization. They see the kind of savings that they can bring to the company and the importance that they have now within the system inside the organization. Tony, I think we should go out and talk with one of my Tecnomatix simulation operators. His name is Frank. He's actually the engineer who is currently working on that simulation example that I gave you where we're able to save our customer $12 million. Yeah, Tony, this is our simulation engineer, and I'd like to introduce you to Frank Roush. He's
Hi, Frank.
Nice to meet you, Tony.
Glad to meet you.
He's one of our senior simulation engineers. He's been working in this area for quite a while. Frank has an example of a Hemming system up on the screen right now. This example is the one we talked about in the conference room that saved our customer roughly $12 million. If you look at it, we've actually got a traditional Hemming product here, a press and die hammer. That's one of our key products that we make, being loaded and unloaded by this material handling robot in front. The cost savings that I talked about in the conference room is actually a patented sequence of events that this robot goes through to load and unload the hemming machine with a single robot in basically a single operation. The second example that he's going to show us is a new technology that we've developed called roller hemming. And in this technology, we're actually doing the same function that we just showed in the previous system, but we're doing it with robots actually doing the folding motion on the hem rather than using a large press and die type of assembly. As you can see from the simulation, it's a very tight, very confined area, and trying to figure this out without the Tecnomatix simulation packages and the Tecnomatix planning packages would be very difficult. Now, Tony, what we can do, we actually have a simplified version of this running production in our factory, so we can go out and look at this next. Okay, Tony, this is a board that we've put up for our customers that's showing our new roller hemming technology and how we've set up our modular work cell and how we're planning on selling it to them. When we were in the office and Frank showed us what he's doing in the simulation realm of Tecnomatix, he's actually looking at these different products. What we're doing with the Tecnomatix product in here that's rather unique is we're using our planning system, and we have developed this product as a series of building blocks. You can call them Lego building blocks, whatever, but they're all standard building blocks that we've engineered, we've pre-configured, we've tested, and we've put them in a planner library, and the planner library is our central database. Controls the use of those building blocks, controls the maintenance of those building blocks, and it controls all the costing of those building blocks. I can now take my planner engineer, and the planner engineer can configure these building blocks in multiple configurations for different volumes. We get the basic RobCAD simulations, so we're set, and we also get the costing, so we're ready to take quote right to the customer and nail down a price.
Boy, that's a tremendous use of best practices. So you're able to reuse all this innovation, all this technology, and assemble them into different configurations for the customer, and you can do that at a quick time to market than you could before.
Why don't you come over here, Tony, and I'll tell you what we're talking about.
That sounds great.
This is the prototype department of our shop. This is an area of the shop where we're actually running production for our OEMs of their new vehicle closures. Prior to them having the entire engineering done, they need to make a certain number of prototype vehicles to run crash tests and fit and finish, and just to do final buy-off on the car.
So once you get your machine out here, if there's a problem, it's expensive.
It's very expensive to change it.
Yeah.
But we're actually doing double duty with this area. This is the cell that we saw on Frank's Tecnomatix simulation seat in the office, and we've actually put it into production in our facility, and we're using this for both a development cell and a production cell to satisfy our OEMs. If you watch it run, you can see it's very compact, it's very quick, and it's a very clean running system.
I tell you, the work that you've done here in your company is just amazing. I mean, you've got your time to market down, you got your costs down, you got your quality up, and your innovation has just been fantastic. It's great to see that our tools are helping you out and making your job easier and getting your customers happier. So we're committed to continuing our investment in UGS and Tecnomatix, and committed to continue our work with you and your team. JT, I want to thank you for inviting me here today. I've had a marvelous time. I've learned a lot, and I'm very impressed with your company, your people, and your products.
I'm glad you could join us, Tony, and thanks, and I'm glad you see value in what we do.
That's great, JT.
Thank you.